Pack. The theater was packed last night. Package. Products, attractively packaged, are more eye-catching. Pact. Yesterday, China and Russia signed a non-aggression pact. Pail. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Pain. It pained her to see so many Africans suffering. Pal. They have been pals for more than 40 years. Pale. She went deathly pale at the news. Pants. He decided to be a dancer when he was still in short pants. Parade. A parade was held on New Year's Day. Paradox. More haste, less speed is a paradox. Parody. This novel is a vivid parody of British life. Parcel. She sent me a gift parcel by mail. Parrot. It's no use just parroting textbooks. Partial. My sister is very partial to sweet foods after breakfast. Particular. He is very particular about what to have for supper. Passage. Magellan was trying to find a passage to the Indian Ocean. Passenger. This ship can carry 150 passengers. Passive. Kathy took a very passive role in the marriage. Past. He has been in Canada for the past 2 years. Paste. She pasted some small pictures onto her notebook. Path. I went for a walk after supper on the path across the field. Patient. This job needs a patient person. Peasant. The failure of their crop spelled disaster for the peasant farmers. Peculiar. The Mid-Autumn Festival is peculiar to China. Pedestrian. 5 pedestrians were injured as a result of the traffic accident. Pending. A decision on the court case is still pending. Peninsula. It is well known that Arabia is a peninsula. Pension. My father lives on pensions. Perception. Anne is a girl with great perception. Perform. Those students will perform the play next week. Performance. They are talking about how to improve the athlete's performance through training. Perfume. This kind of perfume is quite expensive in China. Periodic. Our family doctor made periodic visits to our house to see if my mum was all right. Permit. You aren't permitted to smoke in the elevator. Persistent. Tom's grandpa has a persistent cough because of his smoking. Persuade. I failed to persuade my father to give up smoking. Pessimism. Pessimism and optimism are 2 opposite attitudes toward life. Pharmacy. I need to get some medicine at the pharmacy. Phenomena. Snow on the equator is an almost unknown phenomenon. Philosophy. Eat, drink, and be merry. That's John's philosophy. Physical. Jogging every morning for 1 hour keeps me in good physical condition. Physician. Anne's brother is our personal physician. Physics. According to physics, nothing can travel faster than light. Pigeon. A pigeon was cooing up in our backyard. Pile. After a party, there is always a pile of dishes to be washed. Pine. Having failed again, she pined away. Plain. Although Wendy speaks in Italian, her message is plain enough. Plant. Having plants in one's home gives it a warm feeling. Plate. A steel plate was inserted into his leg. Pleasant. The professor was so pleasant that most students took his course. Please. You cannot do as you please. You should take others' needs into consideration. Plural. Children is the plural noun of child. Poet. The Queen awarded him the Poet Laureate. Poetry. He is good at descriptive poetry. Poison. It is said he took poison to kill himself. Policy. In 1914, war and government policy curbed migration. Polite. Was my child polite to you? Politic. It would not be politic for you to offend your boss. Politician. He is a statesman, not a politician. Politics. History tells us that in politics Britain preferred evolution to revolution. Poll. For a long time, women were excluded from the polls in many countries. Pollution. The pollution of the atmosphere has become more and more serious. Popular. The magazine Vogue has become more and more popular in China. Population. There has been a steady decrease in the population of developed countries. Portrait. Wendy is painting the portrait of her mother. Positive. I am positive that I am right. Possess. The Middle East possesses rich mineral deposits. Potential. Education develops potential abilities. Pound. Judy pounded the garlic into crumbs. Pour. She never pours her depression onto others. Praise. Anti-poverty groups praised the agreement. Pray. They prayed for the families who had lost loved ones. Precious. The old woman hid her precious diamond necklace in a safe place. Predict. The economists predicted an increase in the rate of inflation. Prefer. My brother loves to watch baseball. I prefer basketball. Prejudice. She held no prejudice towards black people. Prescription. My personal physician gave me a prescription for my stomach ache. Present. In 1877, the French government presented the United States with the Statue of Liberty. Preserve. People called to preserve the last forests in Europe. President. President Bush said elections for a new Iraqi assembly were an important milestone. Pretend. Mark pretended to be friendly with me so that he could get my help. Prestige. It was a matter of prestige to win the nomination. Prevent. He suggested that all nations work together to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. Previous. He came back the previous night. Prey. Foxes prey on rabbits. Price. The dress was priced at $199. Primary. The woman took primary responsibility for the accident. Primitive. Many Africans still live a primitive life. Principle. I did what I did according to my principles. Prior. I am afraid that I have a prior engagement. Privilege. It's my tremendous honor and privilege to be invited. Prize. The silly girl prizes money more than her happiness. Probability. The probability of making a mistake increases when people are tired. Probably. We will probably never know for certain. Proceed. When Angus entered the room, he took off his coat and proceeded to undo his boots. Process. The new microchip processes the data much faster. Produce. Their produce is very popular with young people. Profit. Both factories and workers will profit if working hours can be adjusted according to demand. Program. The air conditioning was programmed to switch on at 5 o'clock. Progress. The UN report says many nations have made progress in their economy. Promise. Give me your promise that you'll never cheat again. Promote. China should promote commerce with neighboring countries. Pronounce. The organization pronounced responsible for the terrorist attack. Proof. He is responsible for proofing these books. Proper. Proper and adequate fertilization is essential to keep plants healthy. Property. Property in the center of this city is becoming more and more expensive. Proposal. It was not clear if the proposal would be acceptable. Prospect. A rich cotton harvest is in prospect this year. Prosperity. The Second World War ushered in a period of prosperity and economic boom. Protein. Try to balance your diet by eating more vegetables and less protein. Protest. They protested to the government that the war is lasting too long. Prove. Years later, history proved him right. Proverb. The proverb tells us that haste makes waste. Provide. In Rochester, the tutoring was provided by a teachers' union. Prudent. Stanley's wife is a prudent manager of money. Psychology. He is a university professor of psychology. Publish. Many of his poems, essays, and short stories have been published posthumously. Pudding. Tomato pudding is nourishing. Pump. The heart pumps blood into the veins. Punctual. She was dismissed for never being punctual for meetings. Punish. He thinks torture can never be justified and must be punished. Purchase. Whenever she felt upset, she made many purchases in the supermarket. Purpose. She hurt her leg on purpose in order to miss the exam. Pursue. The president wanted to pursue further negotiations with the Palestinians. Puzzle. The sudden economic crisis has puzzled financial experts.